Welcome to the Real Estate Corner. I'm your host, Shad Bogany. I am here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15 talking real estate. If you're catching us Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and Sunday evening at 8 a.m., I want to thank you for allowing us to come into your home. If you're driving stuck in traffic and the traffic was horrible coming down, simply there are several games going on here in the greater Houston area, and traffic has just been horrible lately with all the road construction. My name is Shad Bogany. I'm here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15 talking real estate. This show is brought to you by American Title and Prosperity Bank. The numbers here are 281-837-2222, 281-837-2222. Jermaine Freeman is producing the show back at the radio studio at KWWJ 1360. And we've got Crystal Holmes with Iconic TV station 15.10 producing for TV for Saturday and Sunday. The numbers here again are 281-837-2222. Guys, we've got a great show on hand tonight. We're going to be talking about faith-based in real estate. This is a new concept that is going through the country, and they've brought it here to Houston. My guest here in the studio with us is Miss Dorothy Mitchell. She's going to come in and give us some ins and outs of what's happening with faith-based. If you're listening to me and you're a pastor, you have a church, or you're a church member and have a housing ministry, this may be something that you might want to reach out to your pastor and says, hey, we need to get involved here. And Miss Mitchell is going to go through. She's with Kingdom Realty. And she's going to talk a little bit about this tonight, and we're going to talk a lot about it. Before we move forward, I'd like to have my commentary that I like. From time to time, I see things, and I want to make comments on them. And I'd like to make a comment on something that's been going around TV. I've seen it in the news. I've seen it in the Chronicle. And it talks about realtors' commissions. It talks about that the realtors are making too much money on transactions. And they've got these new business models who've come on board who says the realtors should be paid less and we can do the same job for less money, blah, 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 blah. Well, tonight, I am going to just give you some insight of what a realtor job is before we bring on Miss Mitchell. First of all, the realtor is the only one in business that works first and get paid later, and may not get paid at all, depending on how well the transaction goes. Realtors on an average make about, full-time realtors on an average, make about $31,000, $32,000, $33,000 a year. That has been pulled from data, that's what full-time realtors make on an average on that end. This job is extremely hard, and I say this from a standpoint that I saw a statistic that said 12,000 realtors came into the business. By the end of the year, of that 12,000 who got their license, only 2,000 of them was left. So if it's that easy, that wouldn't be that huge turnover. So my feeling is that when you look at commissions, the seller and her list or his listing agent determines what their fees are going to be. And all commissions are negotiable. All of them are. But that determines between you and the seller as a listing agent. Then the listing agent determines what they're going to give to the other agent. And if you have a business model where you're charging 1% or no percent or doing it for free, that's your business model. But I can tell you over time, and I've been doing this for 30-some years, that business model typically is hard to sustain because there's more. This is the biggest purchase that people make. So do you want a realtor who discounts his services, and nothing wrong with discounts, but he charges you minimum? You wouldn't go to a heart doctor to get surgery done with somebody who does it part-time or somebody who's giving you a discount. You're going to go to the surgeon who's going to get the job done. And I guess my whole point is that the whole structure seems to be under attack. And what I'm sharing with you, everybody's not $1 million agent. That HGTV stuff, those are very few and in between. That's why the average is about $30-some thousand a year. And so if you have a business model and you think it can work with certain percentages, go do it. Go do it. The market is free. I will tell you, being a realtor is the truest form of entrepreneurship. There's no other true form than being a realtor, because if we don't respond, we don't return phone calls, we don't ever get paid. And I'm going to give you a quick scenario, and then we're going to bring Miss Mitchell, and I'll get off my soapbox on this, is that I can work with you for 6 months. Then I get a phone call and say, Shad, my sister just got her license. You know, you've been very helpful, but man, I couldn't do Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, looking at my sister knowing I bought a house and I didn't use her. And so those 6 months of me driving you around, spending time, showing you houses, giving you knowledge, because I have nothing else to sell but knowledge, that goes away. So it's just not that easier job. And those that I've made it look easy, so you think you can do it, have all come back and told me it's just not as easy as you made it look, Shad. So I'm just sharing with you, don't read all the things that you look in the hype. Commissions, marketing fees, all of those things are negotiable. Nobody has a fix on it at all. But if you are a buyer and you want to buy a house, you want representation. You want that representation. So me as a listing agent determined that I want to pay you X amount of dollars for representing your buyer, which keeps me out of hot water because I'm representing the seller. I should be able to do that. And if you want to do it for 1%, do it for 1%. That's your right to do it. So I'm just wanted to get this off because I've seen so much information on realtors are paid too much, commissions. I would be a rich man for every deal I never closed. I would be rich. So I wanted to get off that, and I wanted to let you know that the Buffalo Soldier Museum Father's Day brunch is coming up. We're going to roll right into that. The Father's Day brunch on the 16th. They've got 2 settings. They've got 10 o'clock a.m., 1 p.m. The brunch is going to have exotic cars. They're going to have a cigar guy there. They're going to have male health people talking about male health. They're going to have all these events, tours of the museum, a great brunch. Do something different from your father. Don't give him that tie. Don't give him, take him out to the same places you take. Let's make it an event. Go down and visit the Buffalo Soldier Museum. They're selling tickets. Go see the history of African-American military history. And I'm encouraging all of you to go visit the Buffalo Soldier Museum. Get your tickets this week because it starts this Sunday on the 16th. Well, Ms. Mitchell, after all of that, we wanted to bring you on. Thank you so much for coming in. Get as close to that mic as you can for me. And wanted to thank you for being here. So I'm going to let you open it up with a scripture.
Good evening. And I am so excited to be here. One of my favorite scriptures is being a builder, a realtor, and a broker, and naming my company Kingdom Realty is my people will live in quiet safety at home. They will be at rest. Isaiah 32:18. So it's in the word that we need to own land.
Thank you, Mrs. Mitchell. My name is Shad Bogdan. We have Dorothy Mitchell here with Kingdom Realty, and I wanted her to open that with a scripture because all through the Bible it talks about home ownership, why it's so important. So that leads to the faith-based initiative, and I'd like for you to start off. Who started this initiative and what is it all about?
Okay, it was started by the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which was founded in 1947. We became realtors because back at the 1947, we were not accepted as realtors. So back in 1947, a group of African-American real estate brokers formed the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And here we are, and we're called realtors.
And their main goal is to help minorities achieve home ownership. Month of June is home ownership month. And so this is a great time to build wealth in our community. And so the faith-based initiative Was it tied to another program that the Realtist was working on too? Did you guys you started with this and he says, oh, we got this idea, let's do this too, a part of it. What was the other program that it was tied to? The 2 million?
2,000,005. We decided, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers decided that it will take 2 million in African American homeowners to at least raise our numbers up in home ownership. At the present time, we are only at 42%. We are the lowest among all the ethnic groups. And there's plenty of room for improvement, and we know we can do it. So we started the initiative 2,000,005. So our goal is to do 2 million homeowners in the next 5 years. But we know that we cannot do that without the church. We know our history is set with productivity going through the churches.
So how has this group been well received? How has this initiative been received here in the Houston area, Ms. Mitchell?
Oh, it's been received wonderful. We have reached out to, we've had luncheons for pastors, so we will be reaching out to everyone that can hear my voice. If you don't hear from us, please call us.
The numbers here again are 281-837-2222. You're listening to the Real Estate Corner. This show is brought to you every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15. We're the longest running radio show on real estate in Houston. I've been told in the country. We've been on the air 29 years. Same time every Tuesday for the last 29 years in August. So you're listening, and we try to bring the real deal. We kind of heavy here. We don't do a lot of softball and all that stuff. We try to bring you a lot of facts because we realize, as Ms. Mitchell said, that 42% have been renters, homeowners, and the majority of people are renting in our community, and we are the lowest in that. So let's talk about, we know it's been received. How many pastors have signed up?
Well, we have a pledge, and we have 54 pastors who have pledged to work alongside with the Houston Black Real Estate Association, and we are into doing events. Just to let you know about some of our previous events, we just had an event, Mapping Your Way to Home Ownership at the Church of Bethel's Family. Pastor Walter August is an extreme wonderful pastor who believes in home ownership. We had an event at his church on May the 18th. We had over 127 of his congregation members sign up to go through that process of home ownership. So it is outstanding. Our ambassador is Bishop Dixon. He has worked with us on the national level, and he has been to our national conventions. He has spoken, and he just turned the house out at one of our prayer breakfasts. We also have Pastor Deckard at Greenhouse, and we also had an event with a Good Hope, Word of Restoration. So we are reaching out, and we are excited, and we want everyone to be involved.
So if you're listening to this program and you want to get your church involved in the faith-based initiative of home ownership, you know, this is a big elephant. We got to take one piece at a time. We got to take different routes to get to the main road there, to the city of gold that's there, and that's home ownership. So how would they get in touch with you? Let's go, because we're going to give the number out a lot of times, Ms. Mitchell, but let's give the number out on how people can get in touch with you if they want you to meet with their pastor or meet with their housing ministry to get this started.
Okay, once again, my name is Dorothy Mitchell. I'm the chairperson of our faith-based committee. My direct number is 832-264-7286. Once again, 832-264-7286. I do have two co-chairs, Shannon Higgins and Damon McCullough.
Okay, so you've got co-chairs that are working with you, because this
is huge.
It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. The numbers are again 281-837-2222. If you have any questions about real estate, you got two real estate brokers in here. So if I don't know the answer, I'm sure Ms. Mitchell has the answer. So give us a call, 281-837-2222. If you want to start this initiative in your church, this is an opportunity to find out how it works and what's going on with it. The numbers again 281-837-2222. I've heard Pastor Dixon, Bishop Dixon, talk about home ownership at an event, and he just really drills it down on how important it is. And so why would a church want to be involved in home ownership? What are some of the advantages for the churches?
Oh, well, excuse me. One of the advantages is that it builds the community. It adds value to the community. It also adds a homestead for people. Once they purchase a home, they're there, so your congregation will grow from generation to generation to generation, which is very important. Not only are they being fed in the church and their community, then they're going back and they're starting to turn the dollar in the community,
Right.
which is very important.
We've got to have home ownership. And if I take you to a neighborhood that the majority of the people own their own home, you'll see a totally different look. You'll see more businesses, more commerce going on in that area. Because you've bought into the community. It's not a way station. It is a fixture. You are a fixture. So when things are happening with your kids, people are concerned because it's all about being a village, I would say, to a certain extent. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Ms. Mitchell, and we're going to continue. If you've got some questions for Ms. Mitchell on faith-based initiative by the Houston Black Real Estate Association, and Ms. Mitchell is heading this up with her two co-chairs. The numbers are 281-837-2222. Guys, you know you can catch us on YouTube, so if you miss one of my shows, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also catch us on kwwj.org. Go click on the blinking radio tower, and you can hear us anywhere in the world. The numbers here again are 281-837-2222. My name is Shad Bogany. I'm here every Tuesday from 6:15 to 7:15. We're going to take a quick break. Be right back with the Real Estate Corner. Thinking about buying or selling, real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Get survey, put a home on the market, review the net sheets, taxes, advice on financing, homestead exemptions, advice on insurance, what kind of mortgage, inspections, considering offers, negotiations, submitting an offer, how good are the schools, down payment assistance, title insurance, home warranties, closing costs, final walkthrough. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call, Shad Bogany. Hey, welcome back to KWWJ 1360, The Gospel. We're spreading gospel this evening, and we're talking with Miss Dorothy Mitchell with Kingdom Realty. Miss Mitchell, what's your phone number? So if people want to reach out to you, how do they get in touch with you?
You can reach me at 832-264-7286.
One more time.
832-264-7286.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we just did a commercial with Prosperity Bank. And I just want to share with you, Prosperity just did a loan for one of my clients. She was told everywhere she was an FHA client, and she would have to put 20% down. Even though she was putting 20% down, they were still saying she was an FHA client. Well, this client had listened to my show enough to know that if I'm putting 20% down, I don't want to pay mortgage premium, insurance premium. Well, everybody told us we can't do it. I don't care if you put 20, she can't go conventional. Prosperity Bank let her put 20% down, no MI at all. That is the best loan out there. And what makes this loan special, you don't really have to put 20% down to get no MI. You can do 100% with a 600 credit score. And Miss Mitchell's in this business. Nobody's doing a 600 credit score with no MI. No one. Now, there's some people doing 100% financing, but you got to have that credit score up to be able to make that happen. So Prosperity Bank, guys, if you're really, call them, ask them about the UHOP loan. Like I said, we just closed one, and we got turned down everywhere we went. But Prosperity says we'll do the loan, even though she doesn't have to put 20% down. But she wanted to because she was trying to get her notes at a certain level. But it really helped when we knocked off a couple $100 off that monthly payment. And you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. This young lady was selling her house, going to the next house. So she was not a first-time home buyer, but Prosperity Bank made it happen. So Ms. Mitchell, as we move forward, as we go forward, I know NARAB is doing a lot of things. You guys are making a lot of difference. You just had your home buying fair at Reverend Coffey's church.
Yeah, Cofield at
Cofield.
Good Hope.
At Good Hope. A lot of people came out. You had a lot of vendors there. You had a few classes that were going on. But you guys have something working this weekend at Texas Southern that the Houston Black Real Estate Association has created a alliance with Texas Southern.
Yes.
And what's going on this weekend with Texas Southern, with the Houston Black Real Estate Association and Women's Council also?
Okay, every month we do an ABC home buying class. And the great thing about this is HUD requires, when you get down payment assistance, even the city of Houston, that you attend this 8-hour class. And ours is free, and we are one of the only organizations that have it for free. And it's this Saturday at TSU.
At TSU, and it's called the ABC.
These home buyers.
Where do they normally have it at TSU? Which is it? The business.
In the business building.
In the business building in the Jesse. So they've got that auditorium area right there. So if you're looking, because all the down payment assistance programs require you to have a class, this is an opportunity for you to go get that class and not have to pay for it. And it is this weekend. So you can go over to TSU this weekend, get that. Then you can come visit us over at the Buffalo Soldier Museum for Father's Day and bring your dad, and you just make it a whole thing in the Third Ward Museum District this weekend.
That's right.
And it's a great, great event. So we've got 50-some pastors to sign up. What is required of a pastor to be part of the faith-based initiative? What do they need to do, Ms. Mitchell?
Okay, first of all, it doesn't matter the size of your congregation. If you have from 1 to 1,000 members, you're welcome. Everything is designed for you and to help your congregation. And we also supply everything that you need. First of all, we want to let you know that we're not coming into your church. We want to come into your church to find out who are your real estate professionals, because we want them to become involved and be a part of this initiative. But all you have to do is want your congregation to own homes. That's the only one.
And I think that's a major point that Ms. Mitchell is bringing up, is that if you've got realtors or realtors, more likely realtors in your congregation, they're not coming in to outplace them. What we're doing is trying to empower them and help them be able to spread the message of why home ownership is important. To me, it's a shame that it's 42%. I was at the Black Expo, and we had a table there, and I was telling my team, it is a shame that the majority of people who are walking by here are renting. In a time where interest rates are low, the city has all this money for down payment assistance, and the majority of people who are walking in and out of here are all renters. And it's a challenge for you young people who are coming out of school. You're making really good money. You buying those expensive cars. I'm not going to name the names, but you buying them. And the moment you roll out the dealership, they've just appreciated. Where homes go up in value. Last year in the state of Texas, we had about a 5% appreciation value. So if you had bought a $200,000 house, your home went up $10,000 over the year before. Ms. Mitchell, when we were on break, you were telling me this story that you had when you bought a house. And I'd like for you to kind of share it with us here on the air so people can really feel this can happen and it will work.
Oh, yeah. We bought our first home in 1990. It was only $51,000.
Wow.
$51,000. Right in Westbury.
Right. Ooh, that's a good neighborhood, too.
And we stayed there for 10 years. And the 10th year, we sold our home. And we took the whole profit from the home and placed it on our new home. And then we went to a 15-year, and then we paid our home off in 2011.
So in actually 21 years, you were able to purchase 2 homes, pay one off by going with a 15-year mortgage, and now you've got equity. And so your net worth is a whole lot higher than the net worth that we hear that our people are at $2,000 complete net worth, where the other communities at $150,000 net worth. And it all has to do with home ownership.
Sure, we're well blessed with
Right.
home ownership.
And so now you've got an asset that if something happens or you need to borrow from it or do something, you're you're in a position to do it now. Whether you want to or not, you can.
We can, and we don't even pay any. All we do at the end of the year is pay taxes and homeowners insurance. So that $1,500 a month we were paying, we save it every month. So it's a goal. It's an investment. It's the only investment you can live in. So do it.
Right. And I tell people all the time, Ms. Mitchell, that a house is not a home. What it is an investment that you just happen to live in it.
Right.
And so that is the way you should be looking at that. I will tell you, have you ever noticed that when people make a lot of money, they go start buying real estate? There's a reason for that. And what we're trying to do, and what the pastors with this faith-based initiative is trying to do, is spread the wealth. They realize that if they've got a stable community around them, you're okay with tithing. If you've got stable and you got equity in your house, you're okay with having that equity, having everything there. People's kids do better. I will tell you, every study I've seen says if people own their own home, kids do better in school because it has to do with stability there.
True.
How can pastors get involved in this? How can they sign up to do? What do they need to do? If there are people listening to me, we're telling if you're a church and you don't have a housing ministry, that's crazy to me. How can you be a church and not have a housing ministry? Because you're building wealth for those people in the community that's supporting your church. So how do they get started with this?
All you have to do is give us a call at 832-264-7286. Once again, 832-264-7286, and we will get you started. And it's just a phone call.
Right, and if you are a realtor and you're at this particular church, guys, they're trying to empower you because, in my opinion, you should have already started having home buying seminars, But it goes back to that the majority of realtors, and people don't talk about this, the majority of realtors are part-time. The majority of them are. So if this job was so easy and we were getting paid too much, then everybody would be doing it full-time, but they don't. Miss Mitchell, you heard my comments in the beginning. Is anything you want to add to that? Do you disagree with it? I'm okay with that because this is what this show is all about, is the truth. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think you are absolutely correct. It's a lot of work, and if it's a lot of work, and it's a very sensitive job, because when we take it to heart, I take it personal with every transaction I do. And that's another thing that we want the pastors to know. It's not about transaction, it's about transformation. So we
Say that again. I like that.
It's not about the transactions, it's about the transformation. We want to come into your churches along with your members and build home ownership. But we want to stay. We want to make sure this is an ongoing event so that you're having somewhere that your members can come to and get information. Because day by day, I just met with a young man today, and it's about losing their home. And if we ask questions sooner, we can prevent those things. So we need that education right in our churches also. So we come in to help build the information to your congregation.
It's not always about the money. I tell people that all the time. We are in everybody's community. We're talking about building a legacy. We're trying to help you build wealth. You don't have to sell. We talk about gentrification. You can only have gentrification if you're renting, because if you are owning, you'd never have to sell. You really don't have to sell. And once you get to a certain age, you don't pay taxes as much as anymore. So when older people says, well, they're turning, my taxes are going up, not if you have filed your over 65 exemption, you're not paying any taxes. So,
that's true.
So my thought is that it's about building neighborhoods, it's about sustaining schools. We talk about schools, and guys, I've got the school thing coming up. I'm waiting on my first open line. I tell you about the schools, because that report card was brutal that I saw in the Chronicle the other day about it. But I will tell you, if you look at where the schools were rated the lowest, the rental part of it was the highest.
Right. And another thing that we do want to do is also, once we get into our communities, please don't be afraid of your own communities. The only way it's going to change is if we go back
Right.
and build them, and then our schools improve.
Right.
We can't go into our communities and then send our kids to outside schools too. We got to care. We got to make this movement. I'm a baby boomer, and I'm the first one to say that we kind of missed the boat a little bit when it comes to really digging in and being that active person and carrying on where Dr. King left off. But right now we are doing it now with housing. So we want to come out and we want to partner with you all so that we can build home ownership and build communities and schools.
Well, you know, we were being, and I'm a baby boomer too. I know I look every bit of it, but for those who see
No,
me
you
on
don't.
TV,
No, you don't.
But I will tell you that if you're a baby boomer, you came up with the idea that somebody else's ice was colder than yours. And so where we couldn't live in the suburbs in the past, and we all had to live in a city, the moment we got an opportunity to move out in the suburbs, we all went that way. And what we didn't realize, that if you move to the suburbs and you don't get involved with those schools, the reason you moved out there, the schools started going down. And so we don't have that same concept at all, where we go in, as Ms. Mitchell said, we go in and we work and make things happen in our communities out there. And it does work, guys. I'm sharing with you. Everybody else is doing it. There's a reason people who are immigrants, not even citizens, come over here and buy a home and build communities. They come up because they understand. We got people coming over from the southern border, and hey, we got people coming from the northern border coming here, and they're buying homes because they understand the concept. And we've got to change it. We've got to make it happen in our community, and it can happen. 4% interest rates right now. Somebody quoted me the other day at 3.85.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
with Express Homes.
It's low. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know, if you want a house that everybody has the same looking houses, you can do that. My point is, buy one then turn it individually the way you want it to look like. Just buy a house and do it, but with representation. I know a lot of you do-it-yourselfers. You're well educated. I don't need a realtor. I understand this process. Let me share this with you. 85% of the people who use a realtor say they would use a realtor again. 93% of the realtors, people who use realtors, have said they love their realtor. And we are doing good work. Now, if you just happen to pick the wrong realtor, just like you got bad of everything, everything's not perfect. And I tell people all the time, just because you were able to pass that exam doesn't mean you know the business. You know, some of us are just really good testers out there. So I would share with you, if you're a pastor, you're at church, you want to get something involved, nothing better to jail your church, jail the community, the church, where everybody's getting in. You can make a difference. The voting, home ownership. If voting wasn't important, they wouldn't be trying to stop you from doing it. If home ownership wasn't important, they wouldn't be giving you more loans. I don't want to say the channel, but I had an event where I was supposed to speak at a TV station last week. And they bumped me for something that had nothing to do with wealth building. Real estate ain't that interesting. Everybody know about real estate. No, they don't. 42% of the people in our community are renting.
That's right.
And so if you're a pastor, give us a call. If you want to talk to Minister Mitchell, this is a group effort, you know. And if you're coming into your church, as Ms. Mitchell said, we're not trying to displace you realtors in the community. What we are saying, why don't you join the Houston Black Real Estate Association and be a part of the Houston Black Real Estate Association, just as you're a part of the Realtor Organization. Be a part of both. I'm part of both. Be a part, because you can pull. The only way we can improve, the only way I can give you knowledge is because I get knowledge from the Houston Black Real Estate Association. I get knowledge from the Houston Association of Realtors. And we all think that knowledge is the same, but it ain't. It's all about your situation and what happens there. Minister Mitchell.
Minister Mitchell.
Minister Mitchell works at KWWJ, so she used to help me produce the show. And I've been catching myself, Don. I just let that go. What other things that can we do to help?
That we
Ms. Mitchell, what else can people do? We know what pastors are. We know the ambassadors of the pastors are. We've talked about some of the events. What can pastors do to encourage their congregation to get involved in homeownership? What can they do? What should they be telling their congregation? You've been to these meetings. You're
Right.
there. What are the pastors telling their congregations?
Just to give you an example, Pastor August from the Bethel Family Church, he spoke to the whole congregation, and he used scripture, of course, with the word about the importance of home ownership. And he kind of reached out to his congregation and he had them stand up. And Bishop Dixon did this also. It was so empowering to see the bishop just reach out to his congregation and have everybody stand up who owned a home. And then the ones who didn't own a home. He wanted them to realize that you can own a home. So what we want to do with the 2 million, how we're entwining this, is the 2 million ones, we want to track it also. Because we know if we say we're going to do something, if we don't track it, then we don't know where we are. So we also want to go in, and once we do our home buyer seminars, get the information, we want to keep that person in till they buy their home.
Right.
So we're not just coming out to just say, hello, you can buy a home. We're going to make sure if you want a home, it may take a year, but no matter how long it takes, we're going to get it done.
And it's about accountability. And that's what she's saying. When they're saying tracking, they're looking for accountability. They want to be able to hold you accountable and do the things that you're supposed to do to get there. Home ownership, if you got bad credit, you didn't get in it overnight. So you're not going to get out of it overnight. What I'm hating and what bothers me more than anything else, that interest rates are at the lowest they've been in the last 2 or 3 years, and we're not able to take advantage of it. We seem to be saddled with student loans. We seem to be saddled with high car notes. We seem to be saddled with all of this. But I'll share this with you. And I had a buyer who was renting on Section 8, bought a house. Now, if that doesn't motivate you that somebody's on Section 8 housing and able to go buy a house, nothing will motivate you. And she wanted it. She wanted it. She said she needed a place for her kids to be. She wanted it. And she was tired of moving from apartment to apartment. And they have a program for Section 8 home ownership where you take the voucher, use it as income, and you go in and purchase a home. So if you're a church member and you're at home and you're working 40 hours a week, you're doing everything you need to do, and somebody on Section 8 working part-time can own a home, that should motivate you that you should be making changes in your life.
Oh, yeah, and there's a lot more opportunity. There's the Houston Community Land Trust. That entails so much that everybody can buy a home. If you're working at McDonald's full-time, you will be able to purchase a home. If you're paying rent of $800, you can buy a home through this program, but we have to get the information to you. Also, we're planning our next event is going to be at the Power Center. And
What day is that?
That's going to be November the 9th.
Okay.
But I do have to send a shout out to my pastor, Kirby John Caldwell in Windsor Village. We have done events over at our location also. And that's going to be a community base, and we will have a pastor's roundtable at that event. So we will reach out. So I really do need everyone to get in contact with me. I've also spoken to Trinity's pastor in the 3rd Ward area, Pastor Ed. I need to get back over there with you. So everybody's receptive. We just want to meet with you. We have enough people on our committee to get out there and get this done. And we got the tracking in place. We just need everybody on board.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the Real Estate Corner. My name is Shad Boggedy. I'm host of the Real Estate Corner. I'm a broker associate with Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green, and I always like to say, when better is possible, good is not enough. That's how we do it. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with the Real Estate Corner. If you're looking for a title company and you want a really good title company, you need to call American Title. Charlene Clancy over there, 5802 Valverde. Give Charlene a call. The number is 713-784-0006. That's 713-784-0006. Give Charlene Clancy a call. Tell her you heard it on the Real Estate Corner. Thing to keep in mind with title companies is that they all charge the same fees. It's all about service. Everything is about service. And if service wasn't important, then we would all be driving the same car. We would all be going to the same doctor. Service is important. And give her a call, 713-784-0006. Tell her you heard it on the Real Estate Corner. And we'll be right back with my guest, Ms. Dorothy Mitchell with Kingdom Realty. And if you've got a question about faith-based, give us a call. The number's here again, 713-784-0006 is Charlene's number. My number is 281-837-2222. That's that senior moment happening. Be right back with the Real Estate Corner. Thinking about buying or selling, real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Get survey, put a home on the market, review the net sheets, taxes, advice on financing, homestead exemptions, advice on insurance, what kind of mortgage, inspections, considering offers, negotiations, submitting an offer, how good are the schools, down payment assistance, title insurance, home warranties, closing costs, final walkthrough. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call, Shad Bargaining. Thank you, Jermaine. Welcome back to the Real Estate Corner. I want to thank you for allowing us to come into your home on Saturday morning on 15.10 Iconic TV. You can also catch us on the YouTube channel, the Real Estate Corner YouTube channel. Please subscribe. If you miss a show, you can go there. And also, KWWJ 1360 AM, but you can catch us on 96.9 FM. We simulcast this show on both AM and FM, and it just depends on where you're at. All of this is to allow you to be able to get this information. And my goal, guys, is to try to raise this home ownership. I couldn't, if everybody that listened to me came to me to buy a house, I couldn't handle it all. I couldn't do it. But we've got good realtors like Mrs. Mitchell. We are out there, and what we're asking you to do when you decide that you want to make that purchase, interview, and talk to people. How many houses have you sold? Some people have had their license for 20 years and sold one house. Ask them, because what has always bothered me, Miss Mitchell, that this is the biggest financial decision that people make. And they go get somebody who's inexperienced and haven't done the business, because every transaction is different. Every transaction is different. So even though I've sold thousands of homes, every transaction is different. And the rules keep changing on us. You know, you bought your first house at $50,000.
Yes.
I can remember when I could buy a condo here in Houston for 12 grand, 10 grand. Now I'm saying condos are 60, 70,000. What happens where your money goes up like that? And so, and if you decide, and I think one of the habits, and I think you probably teach in the class, is that you don't have to go buy the whole enchilada. You buy a piece of it, you stay there a while, your value goes up, then you take that equity, you transfer it over to the next house, and you keep going until you get where you want to go. What are you guys teaching these classes that you're doing? When you come to the church, what are actually they're learning in those classes?
Oh, they are learning. First of all, we start off with budget and goal setting.
Okay.
Because that's truly important. So from that, we go with credit. We also go over actually the whole buying process also, so that you're not aware of what's going on.
So the budgeting is really important.
Oh, that's the first thing we start off with.
Because if we realize how much we pay for coffee every day, and we get it every day, gotta have it, it's become a habit, we would be shocked how much money we could save.
Oh, you'll be amazed, and how many bills you can pay off. And also, and that also gives you a point of just setting goals as far as I'd rather have the house than the Starbucks coffee every week.
We got to take an ID break. We come right back with Miss Mitchell. We're going to turn it over and do a quick ID break for KWWJ 1360. Thinking about buying or selling, real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Get survey, put a home on the market, review the net sheets, taxes, advice on financing, homestead exemptions, advice on insurance, what kind of mortgage, inspections, considering offers, negotiations, submitting an offer, how good are the schools, down payment assistance, title insurance, home warranties, closing costs, final walkthrough. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call, Shad Bogany. Welcome back to the Real Estate Corner. I'm your host, Shad Bogany. And Ms. Mitchell, I had you hold your point. I hope you're better than me. When I hold my point, I forget them. But I hope you can continue on with your point.
Okay, my point is, why is it important? The Black church is the trusted voice and institution in the Black community. Black churches own large amounts and tracts of undeveloped real estate, presents opportunities to create inventory and meet affordable housing goals. So not only are we going to come in to help your members with home ownership, we also want, because we know that some of you may have lots and there's so many opportunities, and so we're here to help you with those situations also.
Well, and I'll take a perfect example. Mrs. Mitchell mentioned it earlier, is that take Corinthian Point around Windsor Village Church. There's where the church owned some land and decided we're going to build a neighborhood and help strengthen the community around the church. And now when you go over there, you got McDonald's, Taco Bell, you got all these restaurants there. You've got people, you got commerce happening there.
Yes.
And before Corinthian Point was there was no commerce there. You had a fish place right there on the corner,
yep,
and a club back in the back, because I've been there. So you know, you had these places, but when you turn it, now everything, you got a senior housing project, you got a YMCA, you got an updated elementary school there, you've got values, because those houses sold for a whole lot less when I was selling them over there. They pretty much doubled in value over that period of time, all based on commerce, based on, so when we're talking to pastors about turning it around, it can be done. Kirby John did it. It can be done. All you have to do is put the places in place to get that done. And when Corinthian Point was done, Pastor Caldwell went out and found experts. He didn't try to do it all. He didn't say, I know it all. What he did, he brought in people who knew the business to help him develop that, and they had a plan and a vision. And that's a perfect example of what a church can do and create. And I'm pretty sure your membership has gone up since the initial time when they were down over on, I can't think, on Heatherbrook. And I should remember that because I went to Madison High School, so I should know that. But it's changed. So that is the perfect example of why Bishop Dixon has gotten involved.
Yes.
The greenhouse has gotten involved because they want to do the same thing because they know it can be done. The flag has been planted. Mm-hmm. And if you want to make it happen, it can be done, and you can do it by simply joining this faith base and partnering with you guys to get these things done. Because you've gotten the model, and Pastor Caldwell is good, but there are a lot of good pastors out there who can do the same thing.
Of course.
Yeah, and he changed that whole community by believing that home ownership was the way to go.
True.
Yeah, I mean that's your shining neighborhood on the hill, is Corinthian Point.
True.
And so it says it all. And if you're a pastor, you want to get involved with this, Ms. Mitchell, how do they get in touch with you?
832-264-7286.
Say it again for me.
832-264-7286.
Guys, and I know a lot of you are listening, and I hadn't given the number out as much as I normally do, but we've got a few minutes left in the show. I'd really like to get you to partake in this conversation. 281-837-2222. If you got some questions for Ms. Mitchell, give her a call. 281-837-2222. If you've got some questions, I am not saying that if you're renting, you're a bad person. What I'm saying is that I've got to get you to start building wealth. I used to tell you that if you bought a house, it's a tax benefit. It is no longer a tax benefit. It is about wealth building. And I need you to be able to start building wealth, because that's how legacies get started. By owning something and being able to pass it on or sell. Your kids in college, instead of saddling with school debt, why don't you borrow against your house and be able to write that interest off and do it, because you can't write off the school debt interest, I don't believe.
Exactly. I think, and it's security, guys, because when you're in renting, the landlord can raise the rent anytime. And I want you to be careful about those renting these new homes. It makes you feel like it's yours. You're just paying someone else's note.
That's all you're doing. You're sending somebody else to Cancun. You're sending them on a world trip. You're paying for their college for their kids. Start paying for your own kids' college. And by doing that is building a little wealth there. The numbers here again, 281-837-2222. For those who just came in, Ms. Mitchell, will you read that scripture again? Because I know those who are listening to us tonight know about that scripture. So let's remind them again why we're doing this faith-based initiative with the Houston Black Real Estate Association, with our parent company, National Association of Real Estate Brokers, why this is important. And I'm going to turn it over to you. We've got right at about 6 minutes, and I'm going to turn it over to you and let you get your message out. I'm not going to say another word, but say thank you.
All right, and I thank you for that. This is on my heart, Isaiah 32:18. My people will live in safety, quietly at home. They will be at rest. And I love my people. I love each and every one of you. And it's just something I grew up a Baptist in Hammond, Indiana, a small town, and here I am in this large city. But God always put people on a path that you never know where you're going. And this He has put on my heart, and He put me in this position. So I am just really asking each and every one of you to reach out to us so we can make a difference here in Houston, in your members' lives, and in our whole city, and in our culture.
Well, and the other thing that you keep in mind, that if you are a realtor out there, you need to be joining the Houston Black Real Estate Association. We just had a board meeting today. Yes, I sit on that board, and I will tell you they're doing a marvelous job, but we could do better. When better is possible, good is not enough. And we need more of you. I had a realtor tell me the other day, she's been a realtor for 10 years. She had no idea. She went up to the Texas Real Estate Brokers Conference, which is our state conference, and she went up there to speak on another subject, but she was at the conference, and she said, Shad, I've been a realtor for 10 years. I didn't even know this organization existed. And I'm sitting up here listening to all this information, and I'm like, it's blowing me away. It is blowing me away. So if you are out there and you're practicing, you should be a part of this organization. I'm a part of this organization, and I've been a part of this organization almost since I've been in real estate. So you need to be a part of this organization. Great people. We're just trying to make a difference. We're not, all we're there is just trying to make a difference in your lives to help you build legacy and build equity in your home. The numbers again, 281-837-2222. Ms. Mitchell, have we missed anything?
I'm trying to see. All I can say at this point is that we have the programs already set, and this is a ongoing relationship that we'll have. We also have done some MOUs with some of the churches.
What is an MOU? So people
Memorandum of Understanding.
Okay.
And that's just an agreement that we have with each other, saying that we are here to help you, and we partner. And another thing is also going back to turning the dollar in the community. So we know that if for everything we do, we only turn, as African Americans, we turn our dollar only one time in our community. We need to at least figure out what ways we can turn that dollar. It may be a real estate professional, a loan officer, a developer, just whatever, appraisal. We just want to start building wealth all across the board.
Well, let me give you an example of what's happening in the majority community. Every time a house is sold, $76,000 worth of income is earned. Every time a house is being sold. And that money is being turned over and over and over into the community. And nothing's wrong with that. But what I'm sharing with you, we can do the same thing. We don't have to ask for things. We can do what we need to do based on us having the equity there to do it. We can start, if we got kids that are just being born, we can start setting up that college fund, not saddling them with all the debt. We can start asking our politicians to be accountable to home ownership. Stop blowing Dixie to me. Let's tell me what you're gonna do. Tell me what you're gonna make happen. Are you gonna allow me to be able to use my utility bills and my credit score? You know you can't do that right now, right? And I like to praise Congressman Al Green, who's working on a bill, House Bill 123, he told me, to make that happen. But those are the sort of things that we need to be asking and then holding people accountable as we move forward in this. The numbers here again, 281-837-2222. That's 281-37-2222. My name is Shad Bogany. I want to thank all of you who've been listening to us here on the Real Estate Corner. Remember, if you missed this show, you just got in your car, or you got up and walked away on Saturday morning or Sunday night instead of walking dead, won't you watch us on 15.110 on Iconic TV? And I just want to tell you, we're here to help you. We're here to empower you. So if you're a realtor at a church, we're here to give you the tools to help your congregation, pastors, to empower them to stabilize the community around you, and also make it easier for you to just be the stable. Be when the seas are tough, when the water is high and the waves are crashing, you to be that lighthouse in the community. And doing that, it would be by taking on this initiative, faith-based initiative. And I applaud Ms. Mitchell for doing this. It takes a lot of work, and I just want to tell you, we can make this happen, but we need to work as a group. Ms. Mitchell, give your number out one more time so people know how to get in touch with you, and give your company's name out and that number also, how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, my company name is Kingdom Realty. I am located in the Power Center, 12401 South Post Oak. My phone number is 832-264-7286, and my email is kingdomrealty7@gmail.com.
Guys, I want to thank all of you. I also want to share with you, if you are renting a vacant house from somebody, you need to make sure that that person who you're giving money to owns that house or have the ability to rent it. I just heard of a story today. Lady with 4 kids gave someone $4,500, moved in the house because the house was vacant. Moved in the house, the realtor shows up. What are you doing in my house? I just rented this house. And no, you didn't, because I'm the owner of this house. You can't rent this house. It's for sale only. And somebody took a lady with 4 kids, $4,500. So if they telling you to meet them at a restaurant, McDonald's, they need to have an office. So I'm telling you, this scam is out here, guys. The scam is out here. If you're doing a real estate transaction and somebody tells you to wire your money here because they found out that you were doing transaction, you call the people that you're dealing with before you do any of that. So if you're on Craigslist or entities, or you see looking for a house to rent and it's too good to be true, I will tell you, there is no hookup in real estate, or you're going to get hooked. See you next week on the Real Estate Corner. My name is Shad Bogany. Ms. Mitchell, thank you so much for being here. As we'll see you guys next week on the Real Estate Corner. Thinking about buying or selling, real estate can be a very complicated process. Finding one, how much can you afford? Get survey, put a home on the market, review the net sheets, taxes, advice on financing, homestead exemptions, advice on insurance, what kind of mortgage, inspections, considering offers, negotiations, submitting an offer, how good are the schools, down payment assistance, title insurance, home warranties, closing costs, final walkthrough. These are the pieces of the puzzle of home ownership. I'm the person who helps put it together and the glue that keeps it together. Give me a call, Shad Bargaining.